welcome. Tonight, as the 38th ordinary session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the AU kicks off in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, African leaders are asked to unite the continent. Governor Uba Sani of Kaduna State received some defectors from other political parties into the APC fold. Federal government reaffirms its commitment to shaping the landscape of the aviation sector through strict adherence to safety and regulatory procedures. And Israel confirms Hamas release of hostages and an American-Israeli citizen after days of fear over the future of the Gaza ceasefire.
And on business news, investors in Nigeria's stock market enjoy a Valentine Week rally as the NGX All-Share Index hits a new high.
On sports news tonight, men's world number one Yannick Sinner accepts an immediate 3-month ban from tennis after settling with the World Anti-Doping Agency over his 2 positive dope tests last year.
African leaders have been asked to unite and take decisive steps to address the various challenges on the continent. This was echoed by speakers at the opening ceremony of the 38th ordinary session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the African Union, taking place in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. President Bola Tinubu joined other African leaders, including former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo, at the ceremony which took place at the headquarters of the African Union. Our State House correspondent Larry Lasisi, who is in Addis Ababa, has this report.
The Nelson Mandela Hall is filled as presidents, former presidents, ministers and heads of international agencies gather for the opening ceremony of the 38th ordinary session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the African Union. Taking place at the headquarters of the African Union in Addis Ababa, it is a chance to consider the state of the Union and the challenges confronting the continent. Welcoming everyone, the President of Ethiopia points out the need for decisiveness.
In a world marked by rapid change and multiple challenges, we find ourselves at the crossroads of uncertainty and opportunity. This moment calls upon us to strengthen our collective resolve, embrace resilience, and foster unity across Africa.
The United Nations Secretary General assures the Union of support in the push for critical reforms on the world stage.
Africa was under colonial domination when today's multilateral system was created, and that injustice endures. There is no excuse that Africa still lacks permanent representation in the 21st century. And we will keep pressing together for an international financial architecture that is no longer outdated, dysfunctional, and unfair. Correcting age-old injustices is essential to address here and now challenges.
Speakers highlight the need to ensure peace returns to the Republic of the Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. A passionate case was made for the theme of the year, Justice for Africans and People of African Descent through Reparations.
Let us remove the scars of history and be firm craftsmen of our fate, recognizing that the only people who can stop us now are we, but ourselves. We have to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery and to build the future that our people want of us, and to give them that pride that is theirs. And we must do so in the spirit and with the results of ADWA.
The session also saw the new chairman of the African Union, the president of Angola, Joao Lourenço, take his seat, and Mahmoud Ali Yusuf was also elected as the new chairman of the African Union Commission. With the mounting challenges from within and from outside the continent, This summit presents the African Union with a unique opportunity to reassess and reform itself so as to be ready to meet the needs of the people of Africa. From the headquarters of the African Union here in Addis Ababa, Lanre Lasisi, Channels Television News.
Back home in Katsina State, the All Progressives Congress APC is optimistic that it will clear all the available seats during the state local government elections. The governor, Diko Rada, stated this when he cast his vote at the Kofa Katiga polling unit in Karanchi local government area and expressed delight with the conduct of the exercise.
Residents of Katsina State going to the polls to exercise their franchise during the state's local government elections. At least 3 million residents are expected to participate in the exercise across 6,652 polling units, covering 361 polling wards in 34 local government areas. Polls opened at 9 a.m. at most polling units with a large turnout amidst heavy security. Among the voters in Second Yan Ward in Daura local government area is former President Muhammadu Buhari, and he commends the conduct of the exercise. Accompanied by his wife, Governor Diko Rada cast his vote in Kofa Katika polling unit in Rada Ward of Charanchi local government areas. He's confident that the All Progressives Congress will emerge victorious in the exercise because of his efforts in the state.
I expect to have a very peaceful election, and I believe with the kind of support we are getting and with the kind of project that we have executed since when we came on board, people believe so much in our party, ABC, and I believe ABC will come out victorious in this election.
The voters are mostly women, young people, and the elderly. Some former governors of Katsina State are joined, as well as federal lawmakers, and the Minister of Housing participated in the exercise.
I'm happy and glad to see the election that's conducted today in the local government councils in Katsina State. And as you can see, the turnout is very good. The process is transparent. And I'm very happy to report that Katsina is one of the states in Nigeria that was planning to hold local government election. I have done so, and we are grateful to God. And we're happy with the way and the manner the government went about putting things in place to conduct this local government by the State Independent Electoral Commission.
Democracy has come to stay. Because of so many reasons. One, we are so lucky the election was free and fair, in the sense that we allowed all people have allowed to choose the person they want without any challenge or any hindrance.
5 political parties are participating in the exercise, and the State Independent Electoral Commission is assuring that the exercise will be free, fair, and credible to all participants.
Staying with politics, the former Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, has filed a suit against the Assembly and the new Speaker, Mojisola Miranda, before the Lagos State High Court in Ikeja, challenging the legality of his removal. In the suit, which is yet to be assigned to a judge, Mr. Obasa asked the court to declare that his colleagues in the House acted unlawfully by removing him while the Assembly was on recess. The embattled Speaker is seeking the following reliefs: an order of the court fixing a date for the accelerated hearing of the case, and to shorten the time allowed for the defendants to respond with counter-affidavits or written addresses to 7 days post-hearing. He also asked the court to order that the time for the plaintiff to file their replies on points of law be limited to 3 days. The plaintiff challenged the legality of the Lagos State House of Assembly sitting and proceedings during recess without the Speaker convening the House or delegating authority to someone else to do so. No date has been fixed for hearing on the matter. To other stories now, the federal government remains committed to reshaping the landscape of the aviation sector through strict adherence to safety regulations, excellence, fostering growth, within the industry. The Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Ibrahim Kana, mentioned this at a forum organized by the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority to mark its 25th anniversary in Abuja. Mr. Kana added that there is the need to strengthen aviation standards, enhance collaboration, as well as shape the future of air transport in the country.
One more time. It's an event put together to celebrate the successes and challenges that lie ahead of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, 25 years after its establishment. The nation's airspace continues to strive amongst its peers in Africa and around the world, where they hope to settle for better achievements in the years ahead.
As we celebrate current achievements, we must also look ahead to embracing new technologies, improving operational efficiencies, and fostering partnership that will elevate our aviation industry to even greater heights. In propelling NCAA to aspirational heights, and in line with this symposium, we are faithfully guided by the Honorable Minister's 5-point agenda and ultimately Mr. President's renewed hope agenda, both of which emphasizes infrastructure, development, safety enhancement, and economic growth and job creation.
Nigeria's aviation industry has experienced its ups and downs, with the authorities making investment in infrastructure.
Where civil and military are collaborating, good things are happening.
The federal government is promising to support the sector with increased investment in technology.
While NCAA has achieved remarkable success over the past 25 years, sustaining these accomplishments requires a deliberate focus on strategic planning, stakeholder collaboration, adoption of innovative practices, especially focusing on training and retraining. That can never be enough. Aviation safety is not a one-time achievement, but a continuous process of adaptation and improvement, with advancement in technology, rising passenger demands, and increasing globalization. The dynamics of aviation safety are evolving rapidly.
The National Assembly is also pledging to provide legislative support.
We are committed to supporting the NCAA in its mission to ensure the safety and security of our aviation industry. We believe that our collective efforts will continue to yield results and propel our industry to greater heights.
One of the visions of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority is that the sector remains a beacon of excellence in Africa and beyond. The management is also seeking more collaborations to make it a reality.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has denied claims that it sells substandard premium motor spirit with a high burn rate. In a statement by its spokesperson, Mr. Femi Shoneye, the NNPCL says it's reacting to a viral video claiming that its petrol does not last long in fuel tanks. According to the NNPCL, this assertion is baseless and entirely unfounded, originating from unverified and amateur research that lacks credibility, accuracy, and professional oversight. It adds that a significant percentage of premium motor spirits sold at the NNPC retail stations in Lagos, where this deceptive video emanated from, is not sourced from them. Speaking further on the matter, the energy company says it will take firm legal action against individuals or groups who intentionally spread falsehood about its brand and operations. In part two, after the break, Inspector General of Police Kayode Betokun approved the expansion of the gender-based violence desk offices to all police divisions nationwide. That's in a moment. This day Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, live on Channels Television. A reminder of our top stories. As the 38th ordinary session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Governments of the AU kicks off in Ethiopia, African leaders are asked to unite the continent. Governor Uba Sani of Kaduna State receives some defectors from other political parties into the APC fold. Federal government reaffirms its commitment to shaping the landscape of the aviation sector through strict compliance to safety and regulatory issues. And Israel confirms Hamas's release of 3 Israeli hostages and an American-Israeli citizen after days of fear over the future of the Gaza ceasefire. The governor of Kaduna State, Uba Sani, has received prominent leaders of the People's Democratic Party and other opposition political parties, along with their teaming supporters to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, with the Campis endorsing the governor for a second-term re-election come 2027. Speaking at a rally where they were formally received into the APC, the Campis cited the visionary leadership and people-oriented governance style of Governor Sani as reasons for their defection.
It's a carnival-like atmosphere at the Murtala Mohammed Square in the Kaduna State capital as thousands of supporters of the All Progressives Congress gather for a rally to welcome some defectors. The defectors include members of the People's Democratic Party, the Labour Party, and other opposition political parties. The crowd roll out their drums to welcome Governor Uba Sani as he arrives the venue to receive the defectors and their supporters to the APC. Some of the defectors include former Governor Ramalan Yero of Kaduna State, the governorship candidates of the New Nigeria People's Party at the 2023 elections, Mr. Suleiman Hunkuyi, 5 lawmakers from the National and State Assembly, as well as former lawmakers.
He's almost 2 years on the seat. But what he has done today is much more than somebody that spent good 8 years. We are proud of him. I will continue to be proud of him. You know, we are colleagues, but a colleague with difference. I will do it, and I promise we shall continue to do it with all my supporters.
Numerous achievement has set a platform for some of us to come in. Your magnanimity has brought us into APC today. We have come to build, not to tear. We have come to increase, not to reduce. We have come to improve and not to divide. Your Excellency, now APC is the party in Southern Kaduna. Thank you for giving us the platform.
In less than 2 years, our people are now having a sense of belonging. We can go to bed with our 2 eyes closed. Our farmers can go to their farms. They have cultivated and they are harvesting. We appreciate you, sir. We thank you. We only want to congratulate you and the APC for rebranding the APC to make it a beautiful brand for Southern Kaduna to come in.
Highlight of the rally is the decoration of the defectors with the APC attire by Governor Sani, marking their official welcome to the ruling party along with their supporters. The governor shows them of equal rights within the party, promising to run an inclusive government.
The support we are receiving from the government also play a major role.
The governor considers this defection as a major political win for the APC in the state.
Developmental projects will get to all local government areas and almost all communities in the Federal Capital Territory in line with the President's mandate. The FCT Minister, Mr. Nyesom Wike, who gave this assurance during an inspection of ongoing projects in Kwale local government area, expressed satisfaction with the level of work being done by the contractors, as some of them are moving fast to ensure completion before the raining season. He also promised that Kwale, being an agrarian community, will have the needed road infrastructure to ensure the ease of harvested food produce from their farms to various markets.
believe that also within time, that the time given, they will be top. What's important now is to see that the earthwork is completed before the rains start. So I'm happy, the community is happy, or the communities are happy. You can see how they came out in their numbers to celebrate it. What's important here, assuming we did not award this aid to buy, and then we start the job from buy to you would have seen the danger. Well, thank God that we took that decision and it has paid off. I'm very impressed, and these are agrarian communities. You can imagine those who have their farms here, how happy they will be. So I'm very happy, and I thank the chairman of the area council for the support they have been given to the contractors, the traditional rulers, the youths, and that is what it's supposed to be, to honor the projects, because it's for their own interest. Generally, I'm impressed, very much impressed.
In the face of the current security challenges across the country, government at all levels have been advised to take advantage of the relationship religious and traditional leaders have with their communities to promote peace, tackle insecurity, and curb social vices. This was the view of the speakers at an engagement forum and community town hall dialogue on peace building in Owerri, the Imo State capital, with the theme Promoting Peace Through Interfaith Dialogue and Understanding. The forum highlighted the need for sustained engagement and policy implementation that strengthens peace building at the grassroots level.
What we are doing here today is part of relearning to see that the way to bring peace in the country is to have that education, that knowledge, that idea, that dialogue, understanding, patience, unity, the interaction is the only way out that we'll use to be able to understand it from the other people's point of view. If government wants to make peace or bring peace in the country, they know where to press the button. Because people must speak in the language that their people will understand. I know that this is the way it is. Government cannot go around by itself and say, you must use people who go and unite their own people and make them understand what it is to stay in peace.
Of efforts to reinforce his commitment to upholding human rights, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Betukun, has approved the expansion of the gender-based violence desk offices to all police divisions nationwide. A statement signed by the Force Public Relations Officer, Muyiwa Adibjobi, says the gender-based violence desk were previously limited to zonal and state commands, but will now be established at the divisional level, ensuring that cases of gender-based violence receive prompt, specialized, and professional attention. It adds that qualified personnel will be appointed as GBV desk officers and undergo specialized training to equip them with the necessary skills and expertise to handle those cases effectively. Divisional GBV desk officers will now oversee the juvenile, women, and children's sections in their divisions. More tributes have continued to pour in for Chief Ayo Adebanjo, foremost nationalist and leader of the Pan-Yoruba social cultural group, the Afenifere, who died on Friday, February the 14th. The latest comes from the leadership of the National Democratic Coalition, NADECO, the Arewa Consultative Forum, as well as other dignitaries, including former Governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikunle Amosu, who extolled the Yoruba leader's doggedness in his fight for restructuring and true federalism. Our correspondent Chris Olems has this report.
We will not compromise this principle of justice, equity, and inclusiveness.
One of the speeches of one of the founding members of Afenifere, Chief Ayo Adebanjo.
Presidency is not between the Igbos and the Yorubas. Presidency is a national thing, for which the Awolowo taught us to be one. So it's not a question of anybody offending anybody. On principle, as I've said, on equity, Afenifere is for Yobi, Wood, Like, and Sinker. And I made it clear in our statement. Presidency is not between the Igbos and the Yorubas.
That voice will be missed in Nigeria's politics, and especially in the southwest region, with his passing. But the echo of his influence can be heard from the very beginning of Afenifere, when it debuted with Chief Abraham Adesoya as its leader and Chief Bola Ige as its deputy leader, and of Chief Ayo Adebanjo as one of its other founding members. From the outset, the agenda of Afenifere was clear: advance the cause of the Yoruba people of Nigeria. When the AD political party took office in 1998, its manifesto was an adoption of the Afenifere position. In 2008, a faction of the group emerged in Jebu-Igbo, with Chief Ayo Adebanjo at the helm, who installed Chief Reuben Fashoranti as the new chairman of the group, but which had some opposition to this move by other members of the Afenifere Renewal Group, ARG, who did not accept it. And while it may be difficult to isolate specific achievements solely attributable to Afenifere under Chief Ayo Adebanjo's leadership, here are some notable areas where the group has made significant contributions.
They left the baggage of the Constitution, unworkable Constitution, which they imposed on us. If you understand the problem of the Constitution, that is embedded there. The question of running a unity form of government under a multinational nation is there. That's not what we inherited. So all the problems that are arising as a result of that is what you are having.
Afenifere, under Chief Adebanjo's guidance, has consistently championed the cause of restructuring Nigeria and establishing true federalism. They believe this will lead to a more equitable and efficient governance structure.
If you want to solve the problem now, where do we move forward? Go back to the Constitution that brought us together. On the other hand, we have peace. Then you can move forward. Or do you do that? No matter what you do, you'll be falling from one crisis to the other.
Chief Ayo Adebanjo is revered as a true federalist and elder statesman, a respected lawyer who served as a former organizing secretary of the Action Group and national leader of Afenifere. At 96 years of age at his passing, it's without a doubt that the story of the Yoruba people and its impact on a national scale cannot be told without the indelible contributions of Chief Ayo Adebanjo, the foremost nationalist and apostle of true federalism.
Still ahead on the news at 10, investors in Nigeria's stock market enjoy Valentine rally as the NGX all-share index hits a new high this week. That's on Business News. Join us again. Welcome back. 100 teachers, qualified technical instructors and experienced vocational educators will be employed for technical colleges across the 3 senatorial districts of Edo State. This was part of the information shared with journalists during an inspection of ongoing renovation and construction work on schools with the governor, Monday Okwebolo, embarked on in company of some key officials from the Ministry of Education and State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB. Our correspondent, Jessica Olubusere, has this report.
Overwhelming gratitude greets the governor of Edo State, Monday Okwebolo, and his team, comprising among others the Commissioner for Education and the chairperson of the State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, as they arrived to assess the progress of construction work at Eweka Primary School, Obazagbo, in Oedo local government area of the state. The school has been in a deplorable condition just weeks ago when the governor first visited.
By Friday next week, I want to come here again to see that work is going on.
In addition to the blocks of classrooms renovated and constructed, the transformation provides the school access to basic amenities, including portable water.
The furnishing is ready to be placed in classrooms. So for 100 days, I think is a promise kept.
Inspection exercise takes the governor to 3 other schools, all within the Benin metropolis, where work to upgrade them is in progress. As they proceed with the inspection, the governor notes the progress of the development as well as the quality of items within the classrooms.
Very durable.
Very good.
Governor Okpewolo says he's committed to delivering impactful projects across all 3 senatorial districts.
This is not my power, this is the power of Mr. President, because he has mandated us to do this for our people. So by the grace of God, by the time we are 1 year in the office, 2 years in the office, a lot of transformation would have been done. To me, this is a thing of joy, coming to a school where we came last time, everywhere was toilet, bush. Today, it's a place people can habit.
The state government emphasizes that its transformation plans extend far beyond the construction of modern physical infrastructure. It asserts that the quality of teaching and learning will be unparalleled thanks to the exceptional caliber of teachers it intends to ensure serve in all its schools, including the technical colleges.
We went around the 3 technical colleges, we did a need assessment, and we found out that there are lacunas in terms of the teachers in those schools. So we gave him the reports and immediately granted the approval for the 100 teachers across the 3 technical schools. Right now we are reviewing the syllabus because he said he doesn't want the normal thing that has been obtainable.
Besides the school inspection, the governor also took a tour of roads under construction around Stembuga Road in Iwagwa, Ikuba Hill, Benin City, where gully erosion had been a major challenge to residents for decades. Jessica Olubuse, Channels Television News.
History has been made in Homa ethnic nationality and surrounding communities of Hong local government area of Adamawa State with the coronation of their newly appointed leader. The governor, Omar Fintiri, who represented the staff of office to the Toll Huba, lamented that for over a century and transcending generations, the Huba people have kept faith with the struggle to have an upgraded chiefdom. He commended the people for their resilience, tenacity, and courage, which resulted to the coronation of the new traditional leader.
Sons and daughters of Homa and their well-wishers from across the country and those in the diaspora converge on the newly constructed sports complex in Hong to witness the coronation of His Majesty Aleheri Bulus Nyako as the Tall Hoba I. Governor Omar Fintiri arrives at the venue of the event in company of members of the State Executive Council. The different ethnic groups, dressed in their traditional attires, roll out the drums as they take turns to celebrate. In his welcome address, the chairman of the Coronation Committee, Zakaria Yaduma, appreciates the state government for changing the narrative of the Homa ethnic group.
The executive, the legislature, and judicial arms of government have been working together to take our state to greater heights. Together, they have made every community feel they belong and their honor and dignity matters.
In their goodwill messages, the former FRC Corps Marshal, General Haladu Hanania, and the senator representing Adamawa Central, Senator Iya Abbas, applaud Governor Fintiri for creating the chiefdom.
Despite these decades of our agitation, it took the grace of God Almighty, as well as the listening ear, the kind heart, the sense of justice, and the courage of our dear governor.
I'm deeply grateful to His Excellency, Right Honorable Ahmad Fintiri CON, for his unwavering support and commitment in meeting the yearning and aspiration of the people.
The Chief Judge of Adamawa State, Justice Hafsat Abdul Rahman, administers the oath of office to His Royal Majesty.
To the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Addressing the gathering, Governor Fintiri reveals the reasons for the creation of the 7 emirates and chiefdoms.
By providing a context and correcting a historical error, which seems to be gaining currency in the narrative of the Huba chiefdom,
since we created it in the late last year. Archival sources indicate that the Huba Kingdom has been an autonomous kingdom with a central administration and a king in the pre-colonial Nigeria. That kingdom, like many other kingdoms, fall into descent with the advent of the colonial rule.
The new monarch, His Majesty Alheri Bulus Nyako, describes his coronation as a breath of fresh air.
You brought a final victorious conclusion. A struggle of 120 years. And now in our local government, we have a breath of fresh air.
Done with the speeches, His Majesty takes a ride on the royal horse accompanied by district heads as they pay homage to Governor Fintiri.
Interesting times are here indeed for the people of Ogoni as the hydrocarbon pollution remediation project, HYPREP, has strengthened partnerships with key agencies and international organizations to sustain its environmental restoration efforts in Ogoni land. As part of this collaboration, a delegation from the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, visited ongoing remediation sites in the region. Our correspondent, Deborah Agbalama, has this report.
A delegation from the Department of Environmental Protection and Control, NDDC, is visiting some of HYPREP's remediation and restoration sites, including the water treatment plant in Kedere and the Bomu mangrove shoreline. According to HYPREP's Director of Technical Services, the visit follows discussions at the NDDC quarterly session, where HYPREP invited the Commission to assess its remediation efforts, particularly in mangrove restoration.
We've actually opened up some levels of discussions for collaboration within agencies, and it was such an initial meeting that led to the brilliant visit we are having today. So when we met with NDDC at their quarterly session, so we said, okay, come see what we've done with mangroves, come see what we are doing with remediation in Ogoni land. And so that's why they are here.
He also highlights the successes recorded in environmental remediation and restoration.
The ecosystem is gradually getting restored. And some of you who have been with us on this journey will know that some of the areas we visited today, if you had been there 5, 6, 7 months ago, it was just bare. And now there are mangroves, there are crabs, there are periwinkles, there are oysters. The ecosystem of the place is gradually restoring. This is just early days for us too, but there's already some significant impact. Women can go out there, pick periwinkles early in the morning, late in the evenings, and they're already earning some livelihood out of the little we have done so far.
In his remarks, the leader of the NDDC delegation, the Director of Environmental Protection and Control, Henry Okoko, highlights the importance of the visit for first-hand knowledge.
We had to come here today because we needed to get to know what HYPREP has done over time and then to find out what the way we can assist them and to equally learn from them. Because most times out there, people are always lamenting they've not done much, there's so much to be done, much money has been spent, and then of course we have not seen.
With more stakeholders, including UK-based Blue Carbon sponsors and a UN delegation expected to visit, HYPREP says it is positioning itself for long-term sustainability of Ogoni land's remediation, which according to UNEP recommendations would take at least 30 years. Deborah Abalama, Channels Television News.
Some company news now. The La Casera Company PLC, a soft drink establishment, is thrilled to announce and unveil its refreshed and vibrant new look for the Smooth Chapman brand. Unveiling the new look tagged fresh label, same original taste, smooth it at the TLCC office in Lagos. The managing director, Mr. Chinedum Okereke, says the La Casera Company is excited to introduce its refreshed Smooth Chapman label, which is a testament to its commitment to innovation and sustainability.
Unveiling of a new-look Smooth Chapman brand begins with a press briefing led by the managing director of the La Casera Company PLC, Mr. Chinedum Okereke, accompanied by other management staff. According to Mr. Okereke, the company engaged one of the best label research agencies to know what its esteemed customers want for a label.
We did a whole lot of, working with the very young people
and asking them what do they look out for. And obviously, that's the feedback we got from them. It's what we have put together. It's what we're unveiling today. It's what we're, wanting, the world to see today.
We are available in 36 states, and we redistribute through 8 depots and 2 distribution centers. We have a strong sales network of 350 people working day in out to make sure all our products are available across the length and breadth of Nigeria.
After the briefing, the big moment all have been waiting for arrives with the unveiling of his refreshing and vibrant new look, Smooth Chapman brand. Since 2014, the Lacazera company has consistently refreshed the taste buds of Nigerians with the country's #1 Chapman drink, the Smooth Chapman.
I want to assure them that the new refreshed label of their Smooth Chapman still comes with the same quality of product they've trusted over years. And we will also ensure that the brand reaches them at the right time, at the right place, and of course at an affordable price. We want to assure them that everything to do with quality of this brand and the distinctiveness of this brand still remains.
It's a celebratory brand, but be it big, be it small, whatsoever the occasion is all about. So we are a brand that, we pride in celebrations, no matter how it is. It might be a naming ceremony, it might be just a promotion you just got in the office.
The new label design features bolder colors and pays homage to Smooth Chapman's rich heritage while embracing a contemporary aesthetic. The brand is confident that its loyal customers will love the fresh new look and stay with their first choice Chapman drink.
Leadership and how it influences entrepreneurial success form the crux of submissions as the book titled Entrepreneurial Leadership and Learning Orientation is unveiled in Lagos. The author and managing director of Anchor Insurance PLC, Mr. Augustine Obose, says continuous learning and relearning is key to success. While Nigeria's former president, who was the chairman of the occasion, Ms. Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, noted that the 3 elements in the book came together, and a successful entrepreneurship cannot be achieved without learning new ways.
The roll call of eminent Nigerians here is impressive. Former Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Chief Emeka Anyaoku, former Foreign Affairs Minister General Ike Nwachukwu, as well as former Minister for Health and Social Services, Prince Julius Adelusi Adelui, are some of the prominent Nigerians present for the launch of the book, Entrepreneurial Leadership. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo's wife, Bola Olusegun Obasanjo, takes to the stage on behalf of her husband and delivers a goodwill message which essentially cites leadership as the most important of the 3 elements in the book.
What do you have to learn? What do you need to understand? What do you have to unlearn? And what do you have to relearn? Augustine makes all this clear in this book on leadership.
This was followed by other personalities who give their impression about the literary work.
In Nigeria, but in countries all over the world that have developed, the bedrock of the economy of these countries are usually SMEs and MSMEs, because that's where the production in any country begins.
If only we could begin to encourage our financial industries to look long term and support these young men and young women, our country would not be beggarly.
It would be unfair if we do not populate the universities with this book, even as a textbook. You've done a great job, and I congratulate you.
Author of the book and managing director of Anchor Insurance PLC, Augustine Obose, explains the inspiration behind the book.
My father said, a man without learning is not courageous. Even if you have courage, you are not courageous enough. Continue learning and relearning and unlearning. We always give you that edge above anyone. And that is the reason why I wrote this book.
The book reviewer highlights key aspects of the 212-page book.
The Nigerian educational curriculum requires a rethinking away from rote learning and the objective of passing examinations and the grading of scripts to instill entrepreneurial behavior. This will probably address the challenge of a disconnected school-to-work transition that the country faces.
It is very important for a leader to think forward and make sure that the pitfall that he had or that behind him doesn't go into it.
The book has been reviewed.
The author used the opportunity provided by the book to bring his more than 25 years experience in public and private sectors to create a bestseller he believes will lead to the growth and longevity of SMEs through learning, relearning, and unlearning of old business strategies by entrepreneurs in Nigeria.
Time to find out. Vladdy Williams has all those details.
Thanks, Melinda. Well, let's kick off with the economy now, where Nigeria's Purchasing Managers Index rose to 50.2 points in January 2025, marking the second straight month of economic expansion. That's reported by the Central Bank of Nigeria. While industry and agriculture showed growth, the services sector not contracted. Key indicators like output, new orders, and employment expanded, but raw material stocks and supplier delivery times declined, pointing to supply chain challenges. Of the 36 subsectors reviewed, 17 saw growth, led by transportation equipment, while 17 declined, with forestry hit hardest and 2 remained stable. Transportation equipment emerged as the leading subsector in terms of expansion, whereas the non-metallic mineral products subsector experienced the highest level of contraction. The overall industry sector index stood at 51.3 points. Well, as President Donald Trump's recent policies continue to cause volatility in global markets, experts are weighing the possible impact on the Nigerian economy. According to Dr. Muda Yusuf, Director, CEO, Center for Promotion of Private Enterprise, the Trump administration's policies have significantly influenced global energy markets with increased output and calls for lower oil prices, which poses a risk to government revenue and foreign exchange earnings. On remittances and foreign aid, Dr. Muda notes Nigeria's diaspora remittances, a critical source of foreign exchange, could be affected by Trump's administration's stringent immigration policies. With an estimated 500,000 Nigerians in the U.S., changes in documentation requirements may reduce remittance flows. Furthermore, the potential suspension of U.S. aid programs, which contributed $1.02 billion in 2023 to sectors like health, education, and governance, could create significant financing gaps for Nigeria. Well, let's get a check on how your money performed this week. The all-share index showed significant growth in the second trading week of February, rising by 2% to end at 108,053 points in the 14th, driven by strong performance in industrial goods sector. Trading activity was subdued this week, with just deals in the green. To the sectors we track now, industrial goods counters shined this week with a big 10% pop, fueled by notable over 21% increase in Dangote cement and the 10% rise in beta glass. Leading the charge among gainers was Honeywell Flour Mill PLC, which climbed by 47% week to date, followed by UPDC PLC at 45.95%, while Dar Communications PLC led the losers chart. Top trades by volume for the week were Sterling Financial Holdings Company PLC, Access Holdings PLC, and Secure Electronic Technology PLC. And that's it for me on business. Back to Melinda with the rest of the news at 10.
Many thanks, Vladdy. Telecommunications service provider Airtel Nigeria has leveraged on the 2025 Lagos City Marathon to connect with young people. Airtel Nigeria believes the 42-kilometer race provides Nigerians with an opportunity to attain greatness.
Thank you.
It's the 10th edition of the Lagos City Marathon. This year, the 42-kilometer race is looking to move from a gold label to a platinum label status, which is the most prestigious in the World Athletics classification. As expected, the East Africans show why they are the best in long-distance running as they pulled away from the other competitors. Kenya's Edwin Koech crosses the finish line in a time of 2 hours, 19 minutes, 7 seconds to win the men's category for the second time after doing so in 2023. In the women's event, Ethiopia's Merset Guta clocks a time of 2 hours, 37 minutes and 8 seconds to emerge victorious. The Lagos State government reaffirms its commitment to making the marathon a race of choice to prominent elite athletes.
The Lagos City Marathon is going to get bigger, it's going to get bolder, it's going to get better. The prize money is going to go up. We're going to do everything to ensure that some of the biggest marathoners in the world are attracted into Lagos. Not only are we building future leaders, we're putting Lagos City Marathon on the global scale, where our youth, our young population can compete with the best in the world. They can strive to aspire to what level they want globally.
Telecommunications firm Airtel is leveraging the marathon to build a deeper connection with young people.
If you understand what our tagline is, a reason to imagine, it actually tells us that imagination is a very powerful tool. And when you are using imagination, that's where it captures a lot of things. Aspiration, opportunity, and the most imaginative group of Nigerians are the youth, So the youth are attracted to sports. So everywhere we find the youth, you will find Airtel, because we know that within that space, we find people who are aspirational, people who want to be the best at what they do, and sports is one of those things that we believe captures the youth. For us, we are very particular about our associations, brand association, and spaces where we can find opportunity to add value and give people a reason to become bigger and better than whatever they are.
Both winners get $50,000 each for their achievements, and Airtel believes Nigeria's productive generation can rule the world.
And more stories from the world of sports. Yannick Sinner's long doping saga has come to an end after he agreed to a 3-month ban from tennis, with the men's world #1 admitting partial responsibility for Team Italian will be able to play in front of his home fans at the Rome Open, which kicks off just after the end of his suspension, and is the last big clay court tournament before Roland Garros. The Nigeria Premier Football League now, Eyimba defeated Rivers United 1-0, courtesy of Imo Obot's first-half strike in Aba. Mustafa Umara scored his 3rd goal of the season as Kano Pillars beat Abia Warriors 1-0. Plateau United scored 1 goal in each half to defeat Ekanami Warriors to lessen pressure on manager Mbwat Mangot. Kwara United moved up to 7th on the table after a lone goal victory over Bayelsa United. Daniel Amokachi-led Lobby Stars stayed bottom of the table after playing out a draw with Katsina United, while Sunshine Stars condemned struggling Akwa United to a narrow loss. And that's your Sport News tonight. I am Kelly. Thank you guys. Back to Melinda.
Many thanks, Kelly. On the international scene, Hamas has released 3 Israeli hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners in the latest swap under the ceasefire agreed by Israel and the armed group in January. The 3 hostages handed over today are Sergei Delkel-Chen, Yahon, and Alexander Tofanov. In return, 369 Palestinians were held in Israeli jails were released. 19 hostages held in Gaza and more than 1,000 Palestinian prisoners have been released so far as part of the Gaza ceasefire that began last month. 33 Israeli hostages and 1,900 Palestinian prisoners are expected to have been freed by the end of the first 6-week stage of the deal. And the main news again. As the 38th ordinary session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government kicked off today in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, African leaders have been asked to unite the continent. That's the news at 10 tonight. I'm Melinda Akinlami on behalf of the team. Good night.